Hello, Aquarius. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. All right, Aquarius, interesting. In you and Gemini this week. So from Le Vampire, you pulled Primal, connecting deep within, sacred dance and instinct. But then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Impatience. Now, there's a couple of things that I picked up on this. I think that some of you are becoming impatient as far as getting to a place where you get to actually go out and have a good time. Now, for some of you, you may be becoming a little bit impatient as far as wanting to be noticed, though, too. One of the things that I talk about with Primal is, it is about connecting deep within and expressing it through dance, which is why I call it my going out and having a good time card. This one in Maynard, but this one to me is more about the nightlife. But when you do that and you start expressing that, people are going to notice. And I feel like there's this impatience happening as far as like wanting to be noticed by somebody or a group of people. But more so, I feel there's excitement here, but becoming impatient on getting to a point where you get to have a good time. Now, what I found interesting, though, was reading the card at a glance for impatience. It says, your desire to create may overpower the necessity of aligning with divine timing. The time to shine will come. Move with the energy and not in front of it. Being present has its own reward. All right. Here's your overall for the week. The Hangman. And I know I've seen this for you before. Now, and it always throws me off when I see such a major thing going on as far as the overall energy, because this to me is, it says that whatever is going on is important. With the Hangman being your overall here, for some of you, it may be that you're still in that limbo phase, like waiting for something to happen. And again, I go back to impatience. But, the whole point here is to set the ego aside so that you can see things from a different perspective and gain enlightenment, right? Like needing to see more of a situation. But like, again, I just kind of feel like some of you may be like bound to a situation and like not really able to make any choices just yet. Like, you need to see more first. Okay, so now the past coming through, the Ace of Pentacles, and it may be that you're like waiting to make the most of this opportunity, but it's still coming through as a good thing. Now, with the Ace of Pentacles, right, we could be talking about a new job, a new relationship. It is a new beginning, but what I love about this one, more so than the other aces, is that you're talking about what is realistic. And a beginning here that if you put, you're all into it, can take you the long haul. It's continued growth and sustainability. But, for some reason, you're just not. This is going to throw everything off. And I'm hoping that by the time we pull out here that you're coming out of this and you're no longer in that state of limbo and you're making those choices to act on this. But like I said, it's like there's still something that may be like holding you back or that you need to see more before you can do anything. Oh boy. In the present, the Chariot. Wow. So, willpower and self-control. Like with the Chariot, you could literally be talking about, needing to do some traveling. But the thing is with the Hangman, where the hell are you going? It's like needing to get control over what is going on so that you can start picking up the momentum and moving forward. Now, and like I said, the only reason why it's throwing me off is because of the Hangman being the overall in the situation. Hopefully here you're getting to a place of victory, because that is a big part of the Chariot too. But timing. Like, I'm questioning the timing. Because, again, impatience, divine timing. The 7, the Chariot, But one of the things that I talk about with this one, and beyond doing the traveling and, getting control, right? It's really about the opposing forces that are going on within you right now and getting it going in the right direction so you can start picking up momentum in your life. But the Hangman, I'm like, why? Okay, future conditions. The King of Wands. So, and with the Ace of Pentacles being what's coming through here, for some of you, it may just simply be about like being still caught up in a situation and not being able to move forward in a new opportunity. But then when you move into the King of Wands, right, as far as your own energy, like being a little bit more adventurous, absolutely, with the Chariot being there, right? Like I've always said with him, he charts his own course. Being a little bit more passionate, being more enthusiastic. But I think for some of you may be dealing with a person. And you're looking at fire here, but I mean, as far as that goes, you got Cancer above that. But like I've always said, when it comes to court cards, the personality is what's more important to me. We could be talking about somebody that there is an attraction to. But you can't right now. With the Hangman being there, there's a want. And like, I can feel, again, the impatience, especially with the Chariot being there, but we'll see. Oh boy. Oh yeah? You think so? Your best path to follow, the Knight of Wands. And that's why I kind of felt like this has to do more so with the energy around you than a person. But it can also suggest that a person is coming through and like stirring up passion for you, because the Knight of Wands is your advice. Let's go. Let's get after it. And stop doing this. Like, no more. Right? And you're wanting to do this in like a really major way here with the Chariot being in the present moment. But like I said, it's like, where the hell are you going? But like I said, looking at the King of Wands, like not only do I feel like this is the own energy around some of you, but I think it's because of somebody that may be coming through. And there may have been like an opportunity in the past, but now it's still coming back through, and there's still going to be like your main focus here. But then not only that, but being a little bit more adventurous between the two, yes. Needing to be more passionate and driven, yeah. And definitely needing to go after something. And not worrying about what's going to happen later. The Knight of Wands, I love him, but like I've always said, when it comes to the Knights, they take things to the extreme. And this is the passion junkie, whereas like the Knight of Cups is the emotional junkie. You know what I mean? But with it being your advice, it's like, don't worry about what's going to happen later or then after that and after that, right? I mean, when you're looking at the King of Wands as far as your own energy, you're talking about wisdom. Being wise as far as where your passions are leading you, even if we're talking about a person involved. Oh, in your environment, the Queen of Cups. Now, with her being in the environment and looking at the Chariot and you not really knowing in, what direction you're being pulled, it may be because there is like, this emotional involvement as far as an opportunity coming through with a person. And, it could be passion. It could be work. It could be relationship. But with the Queen of Cups in your environment, again, like I feel both on this. I feel like we're dealing with another person, right? You've got fire and you've got water going on. But what I'm seeing is what is being like put around you because of their energy. So with the Queen of Cups, though, I feel like there is an emotional attachment, and that may be why right now you're like in this, like, where am I going? And then the other thing, though, too, Aquarius, what I'm going to say is I think that some of you need to maybe be a little bit more in touch with your own emotions, and maybe needing to get a little bit more control over that, especially if you have something coming through that's like stirring up some passion for you or someone. But emotional attachment and emotional involvement comes up with her. Jeez. Wow. I mean, you know, but you're right here like, I ain't doing shit. I'm not moving anywhere. Oh my goodness. The Knight of Swords is your hopes and fears. Beyond communication, I feel more so that this is you needing to like tap into, you know, that fearless energy. You know, I mean, when it comes to Aquarius, I mean, you guys are straight to the point. You're not going to piddle fart around, bullshit around when it comes to communication anyway. You know, and I do think that this is you definitely being direct. But something is coming through that may be causing some craziness here. And you may feel like out of whack emotionally. But like, I still feel like, especially with this being your advice, that looking at the Knight of Swords, it's like not being so worried about, you know, the obstacles surrounding this. And like, let's go. Like, let's go. And when we're talking about junkies here, with the Knight of Swords, when you're talking about like intellectual pursuits and communication, he's like all about it and he's gone. But the other thing though too is, you know, like I've said with him before, you know, this is the type of person where if somebody's saying, oh my God, I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with that, they're like, I'll go in there and take care of it right now. You know, not hesitating. And that may be what's happening here. Like, I didn't want it. Like, I was hesitant, but then it was like a kick in the head, like, pull it. And it's the fucking moon. Why? Why? All right. And again, it's still feeling like being pulled all over the place here. Okay, so now, first of all, when we're talking about the Nine of Cups and you're talking about, you know, having your wishes fulfilled, feeling abundant, right? Being happy with what you have. At one point, there's definitely disappointment with the Five of Cups. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. But anyway, the Five of Cups. At one point, like, and this may be affecting your ability to, like, really go forward here with whatever new opportunity is still coming through. But looking at karma next to it, it's almost like it's over. But you're still like working on getting to a place here where the past is the past and you're okay now and you get to move forward and actually go after the things that you want, being a little bit more confident and being a little bit more adventurous here. But I think that something is throwing you off because there's an emotional attachment. And again, I still feel like a person is coming through. But then looking at the moon, and it's no wonder why the Hangman is still there. You know, I can't say it enough when it comes to the moon. There is illumination there, yes, but it does not fully illuminate your path. You know, it's about getting out of that fog. And not only that, but if you're looking at, okay, so if you have an opportunity coming through, no matter what that is, and there is a person involved, there is some emotional attachment, and I feel like, you know, there's you being pulled in all these different ways, needing to be a little bit more passionate, needing to be more driven, needing to tap into that part of yourself that doesn't give a fuck and is going after something. But when it comes to what you actually want, it's like you revert back to this place where there's disappointment. Because I look at this as past, present, future. You still end up in this place with the moon where things are not clear and you may be projecting fears of the past onto a person and an opportunity with a person. You know, like, and with the Hangman being there again, it's like, no, you need to see more before you allow your emotions to have control over you. And I think that that's where the issue is. There may be, you know, some things going on with you emotionally, which is not normal for Aquarius anyway. But being in Pisces, the shit doesn't surprise me. But I'm telling you, looking at the Nine of Cups, this may be something that you want, but you've been disappointed before. You're trying to make amends with the past. But when something comes through, you immediately go back to this place where, like, there isn't a lot of clarity. So it's like all this stuff is going on, but you're not really doing anything. But then your advice is telling you yes. And there is that part of you that's hoping that you can do this. But emotionally right now, I think you're in a weird spot. All right. The Hierophant. When you're looking at retreat, it's funny because I was thinking about the Hermit coming through. This, to me, with this card, is somebody who is wanting that flame to get going. You know, they're wanting to have what, you know, they see other people having. But like a retreat, I'm looking at it and going, I don't think that you need to go into hermit mode. I think that maybe you need to stop like trying to, you know, force something to happen, right? As far as relationships go. But like online dating, when the disconnect from the world, that to me, immediately what came to me was no more of that. Like, you can't do that. I feel like there needs to be more of a connection with, you know, people that are like actually around you rather than getting online, if that makes any sense at all. You know, and maybe you just need to give yourself some time to actually think about what you actually want as far as relationships go, though, too, instead of, like, trying to make something happen, especially, like I said, if you've been disappointed before, you know? Wow. All right, now, as far as couples go, codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. This could be a couple of different things. But when you're looking at the Hierophant, you know, because of codependency issues, there's a problem with somebody wanting to, like, full-on commit. When I look at the Hierophant, you know, with this deck, it talks about spiritual support. But when you look at it, it's like, come on. To me, it's like somebody is not, like, wanting to commit or not wanting to fully commit. And that may be you or the other person here. But you know, it may be because somebody else has, you know, issues with codependency. You know, and then maybe some of you are not wanting to commit because you don't want to be in this codependent relationship anymore. Like, I don't feel like you need to make a commitment if you feel like, you know, there are things wrong with the relationship where this becomes an issue, you know. I just think that that's the reason why some of you are not, like, fully committing right now. Now, on the other hand, some of you may be in a commitment where somebody has some issues and they need to be worked out. I mean, it could be just that simple, but I don't know. I feel like somebody's not making the commitment that they should be, but it's because of codependency issues. But geez, Aquarius, like, I understand. I understand wanting to get to this point, but really this whole thing is about you holding yourself back. And it may be because you've been disappointed before. But, like, I feel like there's going to be a person that's coming through that's going to be the main focus. I think that there is a need for you to just go ahead and, you know, be a little bit more passionate, be a little bit more adventurous. But, you know, just be careful as far as your emotions go. But I feel like that's what's throwing everything off. Because normally you wouldn't come from an emotional place. You would think about it logically. But if you have somebody really attractive showing up, you know, if we're talking about a relationship, it could throw everything off. You know, but if we're looking at a work situation, it may be something that, you know, yeah, you may want, but you've been disappointed before and there's not a whole lot of clarity as far as what's being offered or the opportunity that's coming through. But I still go back to this. And you needing to be more passionate, more driven, and more excited about things but you're not really doing anything though either. Alright, Aquarius, let me just say that normally when I do your readings, everything is pretty straightforward and logical, and I feel like really grounded. But looking at these two, and then looking at the Hangman, I think that some of you are dealing with some emotions right now, and it's got you all over the place, and I'm feeling it. Now, the reason why I think that this is going to have to do with you is because this is your advice. Had this been anything else, I would have been like, okay, you may be waiting on a person. But I don't think that that's it. I think that you are waiting for something to happen. But like, I think that you're holding yourself back because your advice is telling you you need to go forward with passion. You need to get up and get after something. But it's like being pulled emotionally in a really weird spot because there is emotional attachment. You know, and this may be you or somebody else around you, but I do think that, you know, we're looking at a person. We're looking at emotions being involved. Passion. You needing to be a little bit more passionate, but what I find interesting is the fact that you have the Nine of Cups attached to the King of Wands. You know, and he has a tendency to show up when there is an attraction to somebody, and looking at the Nine of Cups, this may be something that you have been wanting. And I still see, you know, this opportunity coming through. But it's like looking at it in the reverse because of the Hangman being there. It's like nothing's happening. And your hopes and your fears and your advice, I mean, you know, and then having the Chariot in the present moment and then having emotional attachment, I'm all over the place with this. But what I will say is coming out, I do think that some of you have been disappointed before, and I think that you're trying to get to a place here with karma or judgment where you're okay. Like really letting go of the past, but then you move into the place of the moon. Now, definitely we can be talking about, sure, this may be what you want, but with the moon being there, there's not a whole lot of clarity when it comes to this. Nor, you know, what you actually want or what you're actually going to be happy with. But I still am feeling like this impatience for something to happen. You know, and again, there's like the need there to like connect deep within and like get it all out. It's so in depth for me, but it's so frustrating because I can feel like the emotions being pulled all over the place. Now, you may be waiting though for somebody else to get their shit under control though. But like I said, the way that you come out on this, you know, I feel like you've been disappointed before, and it's like, it's almost like calling it before you even try it, you know? Whatever that opportunity is, whether we're talking about a new relationship, a new job, something coming through that you need to like be more passionate about. I don't know, you guys are going to have to let me know what's going on, but I see you being the one that was disappointed before in a really big way, because you wouldn't be looking at karma next to that if it wasn't. And then, you know, going to the place of the moon, and it doesn't surprise me being in Pisces right now. As much as I love Pisces, good Christ, man. Now, as far as relationships go, this one bothers the piss out of me. Retreat and the Hermit. Like, I do think, though, and again, like, I don't know where this is coming from, and I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just going to say it. I feel like for some of you, if you're doing online dating, it's time to stop. Don't do it anymore. Clearly here, there is, you know, something that you're wanting as far as a relationship goes. I mean, with the Hermit, like I said, he's trying to get that flame going. But maybe you need to just, like, stop. You know, but that's not helpful for those who are single. You know, but again, when you're looking at the Hermit as it is about doing the soul searching, especially when it comes to what you really want. Now, as far as those who are in a relationship, this one is rough. I think that some of you are not wanting to commit, and it may be your own like addictions that are affecting your ability to fully commit to a relationship, or we're talking about the other person. But whatever is going on with codependency, with the Hierophant being there, somebody is not making a commitment or not wanting to. because there are issues that need to be worked out. And codependency could be actual addictions, whether it's drugs and alcohol, or it could be emotional dependency. This reading is frustrating to me. You know, and it's got me like all over the place, and I can understand why now the Chariot is in the present moment, but you're still looking at the Hangman. And maybe it's a good thing that you're not acting on anything right now, especially with the moon being there and not having a lot of clarity when it comes to what you actually want. But like, I get it if you've been disappointed before. You know, but this opportunity is still coming through. You know, but it's really about you not worrying about what's going to happen later. And like I said, tapping into that part of you that's like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to go for it. I think that that's what you need more than anything else right now, and stop worrying about what's going to happen in the long term and just go for it, you know? I mean, I feel like that's horrible advice, but if you've been upset and disappointed before and you're tired of waiting for something to happen, then maybe that's exactly what you need to do.